So I walked down the river here yesterday. These are my fresh tracks from today. Here's my tracks from yesterday. But look what's happened since yesterday. Not these bobcat tracks, which were here yesterday, but are much more obvious now because the place where the snow is thin and pushed to the ice has melted away, so it's dark colored. It's cool looking. But what has happened since yesterday that's new is these tracks right here, which are bear tracks. And it doesn't look like a real big bear, but you know, look at it. Came up here, looked over here, went over here, looked over there, and then decided to wander off this way. Look at that. These tracks are fresh since, well, they're in the last 24 hours because I was here 24 hours ago. So, and honestly, they're kind of melted in. So I'm pretty darn sure they were from either last night or early this morning because it got above freezing today. But anyhow, just want to show one more time how cool these bobcat tracks are now that they've melted a little bit. And this is pretty much the size they were when they were fresh. They're maybe the tiniest bit they've expanded. But the darkness of the ice makes them look really cool. So here's something kind of interesting. So the bobcat turned off back there into the swamp somewhere, and then a wolf joined the coyotes. Here's the wolf tracks right here, but it appears, I haven't looked at this closely yet, but that the wolf decided it was gonna kind of lay on the ice and roll around a little bit. See this? Unless it wiped out and slid, but I doubt it, but that could happen. But it looks like, look, this appears to be its legs to me, kind of curled up. I think it was sliding this way, rolling around. Look, and then these look like, so here's where the body of what I believe the wolf was, kind of sliding across the snow, and then on top of it is a coyote track. So they came after, and then, so these are coyote tracks going off that way. Here is wolf tracks heading off this way. Cool. Here's a couple beautiful wolf tracks in the snow. Look at that. Kind of like the bobcat, the packed snow in the pads melted away, so it's super obvious. That's a really nice one. Anyhow, I'm heading this way down the river. So now as I continue my run down the river, I came to a spot where there's at least 5 wolves here. There's 5 obvious tracks that I'm following down the river on my run. So I'm just running down, and here's the wolves. Who crossed here? Somebody crossed, a coyote crossed the tracks that way. Anyhow, it's a little highway. Let's see what the wolves did up here. So, well, I thought they headed off into the swamp, but all they did was come over here to smell something, or they probably peed somewhere on something over there, and then they headed off back down the river. All right, time to go. Okay, I made it about down to the lake, And I was gonna go all the way to the lake, which is a couple hundred more yards, but the ice here is getting kind of thin and it's a little cracky, and I'm a long way from the car. I don't really want to fall through and have to go back all wet. But, ooh, do you hear that? Normally that wouldn't bother me, except for I'm a long way from the car. So, and there's a beaver dam there and a beaver lodge. Usually near those, I've noticed the ice is kind of thinner a lot of times. So I'm walking very carefully here. But hear that? It's probably totally thick enough, but for some reason I'm feeling nervous. So I'm going to turn around so I don't go plunging into muddy water and follow the wolf tracks back upstream. So I wanted to say one more thing about these bear tracks. I'm on my way up the river, and it's early winter. I think it's about November 17th, but it's been really cold. That's why the river's frozen over now and I can walk on it. But every year I notice the bears are out walking around in the early winter. They just don't go to sleep right when the snow comes. So this bear was just out for a stroll, and like I said, I see it every year. One year I was canoeing down here, right around here, this time of year, but the river wasn't frozen, and I could see where the bear was on this bank, walked, plunged into the river, swam across the ice cold river, walked back out the other bank, went downstream, plunged back in, swam back across the river, and walked off into the woods. So they're not afraid of the cold at all.